Okay, we will go ahead and call the Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. It is 5:00 PM on Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Weagle. Here. Smith.
Here.
Daniel.
Here. In front of you are the minutes. Who still has some reserve?
I'll do.
In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on January 28th, 2025. I will say I did send, I think, 3 changes over to Rosie. One of them was under payroll, it said Lisa Smith made a motion pay instead of to pay. Not to pay, but to pay. And then under Gary's report, Cops Gear was misspelled, and under Mike Cook's report, Force Main was written out as Forced Main. So those are the 3 I found. Any other changes or corrections?
I didn't see.
Okay, I wasn't even there. So can I have a motion to approve?
So
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. Lisa and Dan approve, and I abstain. Next up is bid award for Community Crossings 2025 street repairs. As you obviously both know, at the last meeting, we did take bids for our street paving project for this year, out of the, which was supported by the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. And after A&Z Engineering looked over the bids, did tell us to, or did advise us to award to the lowest responsive bidder, which was Brooks Construction Company. So in front of you is the agreement between the owner and contractor, between the city and Brooks Construction. Brooks, we've worked with Brooks Kelly multiple times now, right?
yeah,
So-
he's actually here tonight.
Different Brooks. Brooks Construction Company, we've worked with
Yes,
multiple times,
we have.
so. Okay. So, with that, any questions regarding the agreement?
No.
Okay, I will make a motion that we approve the agreement between owner and contractor, meaning between the city and Brooks Construction for the Community Crossings Matching Grant 2024-2 project.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. As a second part of that, we also have to give the notice of award. And so in front of you there is the notice of award to the contractor with the contract price of $1.603 million of paving. So I will make a motion, we approve the notice of award as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Next up is the encroachment agreement. Mr. Burdette, come on up. Did you turn on the microphone?
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Kip. Appreciate that. Okay, this is an encroachment agreement. Could you state your name and your address, please?
Zachary Burdette, 244 West Longfellow Boulevard.
Thank you, sir. And I believe it's the, is there, I think there's a fence in the?
Yeah, well, one corner of the backyard.
On that, okay. Oh, yeah, yes, we do. So, any questions, comments, concerns from the board for Mr. Burdette?
No, just so I understand, it looks like there's an electric, that if something happens, we'll have to go in and.
That is RMC, so there's no conflict with city utilities.
For us
I thought
at all.
that's what the case was, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, again, usually we tell all the individuals if for some reason we have to get back into that utility easement, if we can tell you in advance, we'll let you know and you can take down
Right.
the fence. But in the case of emergency, we'll try our best to do it softly and gently. However, in this case, I don't really see that's gonna happen, but I still wanna make sure you're aware, if for some reason the city does have to get back in there, we will
Sure.
do our best. But it will be up to you to put it back.
Yep.
Okay? Besides that, any other questions, comments, concerns?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the encroachment agreement for 244?
Yeah.
244 West Longfellow Boulevard as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you.
That's pretty simple.
What?
Actually, that was pretty simple.
There you go, yeah. Rosie, do you want to tell them next steps?
Yeah, I will get this back to the planning tomorrow and then you can go over there and finish it up.
Okay, where's that at?
That's,
Over there.
over that brick building over there.
The government center?
The government center? It's not that door, but it's the one next down.
I would have
Okay,
figured
yeah.
you went over there for
I
that.
might have, I don't remember.
Yeah, right, yeah, it's right on Van Buren Street, it's the Whitley County Government Center.
Okay,
Not the courthouse, but the government center.
gotcha. So
Okay.
by the end of the week, I should be able to go over there
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'll have it over there in the morning.
in the morning? Okay,
Yep,
sounds good.
great, thanks, sir.
All set?
You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, next up, we have plat approval for Timber's Edge, Section 2. Mr. Langlow is here. If you do have any questions about that, we also will have the warranty deeds next as well. But obviously, a lot of work's been going into Timber's Edge, Section 2. So do you want to pass down, do you want us to come down and sign?
What?
I'm sorry, are we not approving the plat?
You were doing what I was doing.
We're approving the plat.
Oh, I thought you were doing the warrant.
No, we're approving the plat.
Okay.
Timber's Edge Section 2 plat approval.
Yeah, I can just pass it.
Okay, okay.
I was gonna say, it was presented there at the plan commission meeting, and had all the stipulations that all the members had, they passed it 100%.
Okay.
So I don't, after we had a lot of discussion on a lot of different things, and Brooks committed to and agreed to, and so I think it's a good addition to the town.
Questions of Timber's Edge Section 2 plat? It's on there, this is the big version. This is the Mylar version. Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve Timber's Edge Section 2 plat as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. A long one, it's not a fat one, it's a long one. Okay, next up is the warranty deeds for Timber's Edge, Section 2. So the first one up here is from Fleming Excavating, and that would be for the sanitary sewer, the water mains, and the storm water. So obviously I'll be asking, can you step back and get that? I guess I'll maybe first ask Kelly and Mike on that. You guys have been out, you've inspected the water main, storm water, and sewer. Everything's good to go on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll be getting asphalts or,
We've received as-bills.
We've received as-bills already?
Okay.
Okay, very good. What day is 2/4, so the acceptance date would be today, and the warranty start date would be today as well, I think. And then we'll talk about streets on the next one and curbs on the next one as well. But for Fleming's proposal here. Any questions, comments, concerns? So I'll make a motion that we approve the construction warranty timeframe for Timber's Edge Section 2 sanitary sewer main and applicable appurtenances, the water mains, fire hydrants, and associated fittings, as well as the stormwater infrastructure, with an acceptance date today, 2/11/2025, warranty start date also being 2/11/25, and running for 1 year.
second.
Motion and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. The next we have the construction warranty time frame for Timber's Edge Section 2. This is specifically for the curbs and the public streets. Because of the fact that the public streets only have binder and surface has not been placed there, my preference would be that we don't accept the public streets until the surface has been put in place. I've already discussed that with Mr. Langlow. I'm perfectly fine with the curbs, obviously they're already in place. Kelly, as long as you're okay with them.
Yep.
So I would be okay with, I guess my question to you, Kelly, would be, completion date it shows was November 27th of 2024. What would you like that construction warranty time, with the acceptance date obviously is today, but this warranty start date, do you want that to start in November? To start this past November or today, or what would you like to do on that?
November's fine.
Okay, if you're okay with that, I wanted to make sure, so.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Are you guys okay with delaying until the surface is put on? Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the Timbers Edge Section 2 construction warranty timeframe with Wayne Asphalt and Construction Company for the curbs it has a completion date of 11/27 of '24. The acceptance date today of 2/11/25, and the warranty start date we will backdate to the 11/27 of '24 timeframe for 1 year. Any questions about that? Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show with the usual sign, it is unanimous. Brooks, you have any questions of us?
No, I don't.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
sir, appreciate it. Okay, next up is the 2025 drainage assessment. So this is something as a reminder that we have done every year as a part of the stormwater fees that we charge our residents, that rather than passing through these drainage billings, if you will, directly to the customer like they do outside the city limits, that our stormwater pays for those things. Now you can see, obviously it's a little hefty this year. At $48,000. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with the Blue River, as it always does, but also Columbia Realty 1 and 2. Now, I will say, as a reminder, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is actually paid for almost in arrears. So the work's already been done, and so we're kind of replenishing the fund. Columbia 1 and 2, again, if you look on the map, you can see Columbia Realty 1 and 2, I believe there are where Westgate was. And so there was, I don't know how much they did versus what we did or whatever for Columbia Realty Drain that goes through Westgate there, but obviously the fund must be in the hole if they're asking for, $18,000. So.
There was some problems out there this last,
Yeah.
I know there was some problems out there this last fall. But like I say, this is set up instead of, we have watersheds that are set up throughout the city and
Yep.
the county, and so.
Hey, we fixed
Instead
that.
of charging people for.
I know that,
The individual housing within the watershed, so they get a second ditch assessment besides the maintenance or fees that we're charging already. And I personally don't think it's right that you double tax somebody like that.
Sure.
And if we got money in our drainage fund to pay for that, it's a wiser way to go instead of, trying to hit all the individuals. And then you've got individual watersheds all over the town.
It does make me wonder to that point. I mean, it does make me wonder if they're planning to do maintenance on Columbia Realty 1 and 2. I know we've already done our portion in the Westgate area, but it makes me wonder if they're planning to do something. And the only reason I say that is as you look at the Gallivan-Schumann drain, you can see it says their drain fund in the red. So I'm anticipating they're planning to do some required maintenance on that.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them.
No, and I didn't expect you to. I think I would like, whether we approve it or not approve it, I think I'd like to, can you maybe reach out, will you reach back out to who?
Jennifer?
To Jennifer and just ask what their planned maintenance is for that Columbia Realty 1 and 2, only because I know our stormwater department's put a bunch of money into that drain work over the last year and change with the Westgate project. So we can,
For what?
for Columbia Realty 1 and 2. And just, again, I think just if we could get further clarification of their plans on there, because it does directly impact number one, what we've already done, and number two, Westgate Phase 3 should be happening next year. I think it'd be good for us to have an understanding of what they're planning to do, so.
I could check on that too.
Okay, well, do you want him to check on that?
That's fine.
Okay, if you would,
I check on
bring it to the next meeting, or, well, I won't be here, but you can still let Mike know, that'd be great.
I'll call on that tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. Yep, that's fine.
So you wanna postpone approving it?
Well, I'm not saying that,
Oh, okay.
because at the end of the day, they're gonna charge somebody, and I don't want them to charge our residents, so we might as well pay for it, but then we can go back and get more information, because,
Yeah.
again, I don't want them to pass on these bills to, let's say, the residents of Westgate and others, and then all of a sudden they say, wait a minute, wait a minute, so, so I'm perfectly fine with moving forward, because they're gonna charge somebody, so. I'll make a motion, we approve the drainage assessments, as presented in the amount of $48,451.57.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. And we'll get some more information on that. Thank you for handling that.
I'll find out.
Yeah, you're gonna find out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll find out.
thank you. Thank you. Next up is Mike Cook.
Yes, sir. This is a quote. Remember at retreat, I talked about our golf cart has died, and I talked to the mechanic, and he's still not, had the manual on it and went step by step on everything that it's said to do, and he still can't get it to fire or anything like that, so I told him to quit spending time and money on it, and so I went out to, I talked to him at Moore's about an RTV out there, and I had to run it through both ways, municipal discount, and then he also mentioned Sourcewell, which we had an account through Sourcewell, and it came back cheaper that way.
Okay.
So that's what this is a quote for, so I'm asking approval to purchase this item to replace our golf cart. And kind of then, what would you like for me to do with our golf cart? It doesn't run, I mean, I don't know, we might be able to sell it for parts or something like that, or
Yeah.
just,
And they
Junk
didn't
it.
want it as a trade-in or anything. I'm sure they didn't, but,
I didn't even ask
yeah.
him.
So,
Because if you're like, does it run? It's like, no. What's wrong with it? I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
The park department always gets things.
Easy. I heard that.
Okay, so I guess, Mike, can you talk a little bit, just for public record and stuff, of what you actually used the golf court slash golf cart?
It is a 2001 golf cart. We purchased it when Magic Hills Golf Course closed.
Okay,
And we took it and put heavy duty leaf springs on it and put a box, utility box on the back of it. And we'll haul push mower, trimmers, gas cans to around the facility, down by the substation, trim along the highway there. When they pump tank down, every couple times a week, they'll put the small pump in the back with 5 gallons of water and hose and carry, instead of using a pickup truck, they'll use that to work around the facility.
gotcha, okay, thank you. And can the Kubota do more than what the golf cart could do?
Yeah, we had a bed on the back one. This actually has going to order with a hydraulic dump bed.
Okay,
So it can actually use for different types of things like that, so
Yeah.
yeah.
okay.
Yep. And I'm also ordering with comes with taillight button order, a turn signal kit to put on it, so if out on road, stuff like that, they have to go, then it actually has the equipped for roadway.
Street legal,
Yes.
gotcha. Okay, I guess I would say as it comes to, getting rid of the golf cart, you said it 2001, is that what you said? No,
Yes, it was 2001.
2001, so it's 24 years old.
That'd be good.
That's, Matt, he's still dumping on the parks department over here, so. So I guess I mean, I don't know what options we have for disposal of that kind of property, especially if it doesn't run. I don't know if we wanna just do a sealed bid thing, what you wanna do. I mean, again, it probably has very, very little value. If they had value, I'm assuming that Morris would want to try to get trade-in if they would have asked about it. But again, if it doesn't work and it's a 24-year-old golf cart, I have to imagine that there would be, maybe somebody out there is willing to give us a couple bucks for it, kind of
Is it
thing.
gas or electric?
No, Rosie wants it now.
Golf cart?
Yeah,
It is gas.
yeah, so you might be able to sell it.
Okay.
Now, if you had to buy batteries,
Rosie wins the bid.
Actually, currently it's a push model.
It's a push model.
It's a Flintstone mobile.
That's a Flintstone, yeah, I like that. So, well, I guess my question to you, Rosie, is that something that we could do like a silent bid or something like that? Okay, so if that's okay with you, I'd like to maybe go that direction if the
That's-
board's okay with
That's
that.
fine, I wanted direction
Just
on
to
it, what
dispose.
to do with it, so.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the Kubota for the wastewater department in the amount of $22,288.43.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chip, you're next.
Purchase tonight.
Yes.
This is our standard agreement to take care of part of our problem at the Wayne Waste Center. They come in twice a year, once a year, I can't remember, I'm sorry, I kind of lose track of it.
It's semi-annual.
Semi-annual, twice a year, and test the testing wells and give us an update. So this is ongoing, and per what I've been told, we'll never get out of it, so.
Great. Yes, this is a very standard thing we do every single year. You probably recognize it. This is something we're mandated to do, so we really don't have another choice, but.
I
happy to
think
hear
they
your
test
question.
well 7 and well 8 too.
I'm sorry,
I think they test well 7 and well 8 also.
our water wells?
Yeah,
Okay,
when they're doing them.
okay, great.
it's up $1,000 from that.
It's up $1,000 from last year? Okay.
You talking to the guy down
So that's for a total of $15,200. They are specialists when it comes to this kind of stuff, so. And again, because they've been doing it for so long, I guess every once in a while we could go out and take a look of other people that would do it, but again, the historical knowledge they have of this is, I think, valuable. It's probably more valuable than the cost of service that we're doing here, so. Anyways, I'll make a motion, we approve the agreement with Burgess and Nyepel for the, proposal number 25-1020 for the Wayne Reclamation and Recycling Facility, semi-annual monitoring for a lump sum of $15,200.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Also, Chip?
Yes, so you have in front of you, finally, agreement to move forward with the test kitchen, aka shared kitchen, with the Whitley County School Corporation. This is not a free lease. We are gonna pay 6% of the utility rates for the building, but we will have 24-hour access. They have put in an extra bathroom for us, and so I really am excited for it. And this is we have one more smaller hurdle, but this was our major hurdle to get over.
And they are also allowing us to use their walk-in cooler freezer, which is a huge expense that we didn't have to have, which was
Yes,
very nice.
we are in essence, if you read through the contract, which I informed Rosie, I highly doubt if we did, but we are acquiring all the equipment that was left from the actual cafeteria. If we decide to move this, I don't know that we would move this, but it is our equipment now, so.
Yeah.
So what agreement we have with it?
Well, yeah, well, it's our equipment. Yes, yeah, but again, the idea of going out and actually purchasing this equipment would obviously be much more than what we're actually having to pay on this. As a side note, I will let you know if you've not heard, that our community engagement specialist, Bill Dittlinger, is gonna be stepping away from the organization, so we're gonna be looking at how to kind of replace him, if you will. He's done a lot of hard work in setting up the facility and working with other entities and organizations to try to get the facility really where it needs to be. So I do appreciate his work in regards to that. Nevertheless, we still need to have an agreement with them because we've invested a fair amount of money into getting the facility where it needs to be. And I think it would be valuable at some point if you all wanted to go and take a look at it, myself included. I've not been over there recently. I think it'd be good to go take a look at it at some
Just
point.
give me maybe like 20 days. I have a permit for the hood. Since the fire department shuts down all of our restaurants, we are putting in a state certified hood so we can cook.
That's good.
That, you know, grease and all that. So that has been accepted to Department of Homeland Security, so we are just waiting for the response for that. So
Grease laden.
then it will be nice.
Yes, grease laden vapors, if you're gonna be creating those, you have to have a hood system, yes. It's not the fire department's fault when people.
Oh, I'm
follow
sorry.
the
Did I
rules.
say the fire department? I'm sorry, I
They're not
misspoke.
following the rules, it's not the fire department's fault. Anyways, any questions regarding the agreement? And, Chip, just as, for the record, Marcia's looked over it, she's good
Yes.
to go with it, all that kind of good
Yeah,
stuff.
Rosie had some concerns over insurance, but I think she's got that all taken care of, and
Okay,
I hope.
There's a spelling error on page 3.
I think I did see that, but that's, we'll adjust that real quick, yes.
I gotta print
Yeah,
this out.
it's contemplated that the city might someday, yeah.
I don't think that's gonna get
No.
it last week.
We'll just adjust it, so. I'll make a motion, we approve the facility use agreement between Whitley County Consolidated Schools and the City of Columbia City, as presented. With the noted typo. Second, okay. Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Okay, next up are bills.
All right, I make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $607,314.43 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 2/11/25 for checks. Sorry.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $238,773.76 for the allowance of account payable vouchers dated 2/11/2025 for EFT payments.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I make a motion to pay all accounts payable except overtime in the amount of $296,043.69 plus overtime in the amount of $11,705.19 for a total of $307,748.88 for the pay file ending 1/24/25.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
And I make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $77,250 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 1/17/25 for longevity payments.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Just want to be clear, President. Yeah, I don't think it was longevity. I'm sorry. I should have asked earlier. It was performance bonuses, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I,
So
Sorry.
that's, no, that's okay.
I asked
me
before.
and I told her.
That's okay. Just let the record show that it was for performance
Performance.
bonuses. They didn't change the
Yeah.
numbers or anything like that. That was for performance bonuses. You're good. You don't have to do a new, but just let the record show that, so,
Yeah,
okay.
she asked me and I thought, yeah.
I was gonna say, those are really rounded numbers, so. Okay, okay. With that, we'll go to department head reports. Sean?
So, still working on the terms and conditions. Obviously, we have to see our attorney in a minute, so I haven't had a chance to meet with her on that, but still going in and finding things we'd like to change, I would like to change, so I'm still working on that. Continue on our utility pole replacement project. You know, we had 180 poles to change, or 156, whatever it came down to. We're doing 3 to 5 a week right now. So guys are doing a great job. It's good for the younger guys to get some experience in the bucket and some really good on-the-job training. So it's a good project for that. Also, we've been running pole line, Brightspeed Internet would like to run new fiber on 700 North all the way to the town of Etna. So that's 151 pole contacts that we have to evaluate, engineer, to see if we need to make ready. So I think I've got that almost all the way done. We've got their application fees, so we make more on the application fees than we do rent the poles, so. It's
I guess
a
that's
crazy
good.
process. So, project, we're gonna obviously need more poles. I just got 3 bids back. The lowest bid is from a new company that we're buying basically directed to, provides the poles to our vendors, and found out we can go direct to them now with a few changes they've made, so we're working on that. Saving us about $2,000 a load. They're still about $19,000 for about 60 poles. So they're a little bit cheaper, but I think we're gonna start that relationship with them and just get them direct and save us a little money.
Great. Great. Is that it? Questions, Sean? Thank you, Mike.
Just update on the Force Main project. The pump they put in at Main Street last Thursday, we've got it running and pumping the way it should. I'm letting that run for a full week. So this Thursday I'll make a decision because they need to come in and take the last 2 pumps out and do those. I just want to make sure that this one's in perfect working condition, and so far it is. It's performing actually above my expectations, so I'm pleased with that. I signed a quote with Merrill Brothers for the sludge hauling. I do not have a start date yet, but we're gonna start working on that, the sludge holding tank. The mixer that we did manage to get out is in for service, put new seals, gone through, check all the windings, everything like that, put it back together, so when we're ready to go, it'll be ready. I met with 3 separate companies for lining the digester we talked about. After the digester comes off, they'll come in, clean it out. I requested turnkey operation from each one of them, that they contact somebody to do the cleaning of the digester, that way it's cleaned the way they want it, and I don't have to deal with 3 different companies, I only have 2. One company didn't want to do that, and I emailed him back and said, this is the way it has to be done, if you don't want to do it, then don't bid it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just straightforward.
Well, and it doesn't, it puts us in a place where they can't come back on us and say, hey, because of our contractor did this, then ours, we aren't gonna warranty our work or whatever the case is.
Yeah, because
It
you
streamlines
didn't do it right,
everything, so I
yeah.
agree with you on that.
So, he agreed to that, so they're working on that to get those quotes back to me. The Dice Store, after, they sent the quote to us, and I had Marcia review it, she wanted some changes. I sent those changes back to them, I've not heard back from them, which I figured it'd probably take a couple of weeks, because every time I change something, it takes weeks. So we're still waiting on that. As we talked before the meeting, we hosted a seminar today through the Alliance. It was on water. Had a decent turnout on that. We will host another one in March for the Northern Indiana Operators Association. They'll do a plant tour, and then there's about an hour seminar, somebody speaks. It's like a working lunch. We're gonna host that, and then in September, we will host another one with Alliance, which will be in wastewater. So, and I forgot to mention on the RTV, I looked at our budget, and then I double checked with Rosie to make sure we have that in our transportation fund.
Gotcha.
So, we have the money for that, so we don't have to take it from anywhere else.
Okay.
That's all I have. Yeah.
Questions of Mike? Thank you, Gary.
All right, I got a pretty short report tonight, so that's good. We've extended our hiring process for the taking police applications. We've, originally it was set for February 15th. We was gonna do testing that day. We did extend it a week, February 22nd is our closing date and our testing date. So, we do have 14 applications up to this point.
Okay.
Good. A lot of times it's last week they come in heavy, so.
Yeah. What does it look like? Do we have laterals? Do we have mainly just newbies or?
Mostly new.
Newbie?
A few laterals in there. But
Yeah, okay.
not-
Thank you.
Mostly new. Should be getting our cars from Cops Gear by Friday. He told me by Friday you should have them to us, so that's good. We had the field training day last week for the department. Got a lot of good takeaways from that. It was good training. Guys really liked it. Car 22, which is one of the Ford Escapes, which is a detective vehicle. They did a total loss on that. They're wanting to give us a little over $10,000 for it, so I'm still negotiating with them for that. I sent them a message today about removing equipment and reinstalling equipment, and they said that they aren't responsible for that. But I said, well, can we talk a little more? Because you can't replace that for probably less than at least $15,000.
Yeah.
We're negotiating that back and forth, trying to get them to come up a little bit on that. And then for dispatch, we network shut down on Sunday about 7 o'clock, or 7 a.m. And was back up within an hour and everything went good with that. So.
Questions of Gary? Thank you. Mike?
We all, most of the guys attended a training today on lead and copper and heard a lot of bad news. That even when we start taking these lead lines out, we have to provide them a filter for 6 months because we stirred up the possibility of stirring up some lead in the line. So even after we replace them, so it's just, it's gonna cost us more money than what we were probably thinking.
It's government overreach, but go ahead.
So, and I don't feel with everything that's been said about how dangerous lead is and all that, I don't think that even with the new administration, it's gonna back off, or maybe we get longer to get it out of the system, so.
Yep.
That's basically what we're.
Even though, again, just public information, we've never not passed a lead test, minus, the state lead test, if you will, minus the one time that was tested incorrectly. Like, at the end of the day, our residents are safe from lead poisoning or lead, even lead toxicity, if you will, within our city limits, so, within our water system. So it's very frustrating just how much we are going to, frankly, our residents and our ratepayers are going to have to pour into a project that really is going to provide no, I guess I won't say none completely, but basically very little, if any, improvement to the water system, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you test.
Yeah.
Even if people, add stuff to their water to coat the pipes and that, you're still gonna replace.
Yep.
That's just all there is to it.
Yep, so, thanks, Flint.
Yep.
Any other questions of Mike? Thank you. Matt?
Father-daughter dance went off without any hitches. It was good. Thank you for Dan and yourself helping Saturday night clean up. Much appreciated. Baseball sign-up and softball sign-up started in the office this week on Monday. We're hoping for a good turnout. Also want to go back and say that Andrea and Melinda did a great job on the father-daughter dance, getting it ready, and also they found that they were able to go in, we were able to get stuff in there just a little bit earlier on Wednesday, so that helped out a great deal on Thursday, being able to actually start decorating instead of moving things. Kissinger started in the police training facility, taking that breaker box out, putting a new one in, and starting to test some of the wiring, because we do have some lights that have went out. We no longer have the bell, though, that rings when the switch goes on, so I don't know if that was because somebody took care of it or it just got wore out. But other than that, that's it.
Questions of Matt?
Is it a red bell?
Kelly?
You've heard me talk about my concern with the company that's not grinding leaves anymore,
Yeah.
and how that was gonna work out. I met with a guy from Ohio, company over in Ohio. He come over last week and we met and looked at the pile. He gave me a quote, and we're within our budget that we have, which I was really happy to hear. And they're gonna bring their own loader and operator and basically do it all on their own. So
Good.
I was anticipating that number to be a lot higher.
Good.
So that was good news, and we're just working on a date now. It'll probably be 3 weeks or so away, but just as long as we get them done before weather starts getting warmer, so our residents can get them, is what I told him. So other than that, we're helping Sean's crew with tree removal. We got a couple guys dedicated towards that each week, as long as it takes. And then just anticipating some weather coming in tomorrow night into Thursday, then possibly Saturday, Sunday, the way it looks, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna get a little slick over the next 5 days or so. I think we're gonna have some. Well, we'll see where the storm goes tomorrow because we could get rain and ice, or we could get 4 or 5 inches of snow. We're not exactly sure what that looks like. But questions of Kelly? Thank you, Tom.
Just on the training front, this week we're currently training on machine rescue. Vehicle machinery rescue is one of our strong points in our department, so making sure the guys maintain that level of proficiency. Felicity, per the mayor's order, I think all of us have to do this, is going over the city webpage to update it. I'm guessing that I'm not the only one showing it. That's probably not our forte to go into social media and update things. Toby's been working and troubleshooting on the Sierra wireless stuff on our computers in our vehicles. What that is so we can stay hooked up to through ERS. Our ERS, emergency reporting system, goes through the Spillman and keeps track of all of our runs and all the data and things that we can gather through the city's information stuff. Our Sierra Wireless is what keeps that wormhole open, so that we don't always have to sign back into it. And it's having a few issues. We may have to do some replacement of some of the Sierra Wireless units that we have in our vehicles, so that's not good news because they're pretty expensive. The hiring process is going well, and with that, I know I came to the board a while back and asked for permission to replace one of my firefighter positions. There's actually 3 openings currently. We do have the hiring process going, and I'd like to fill all 3. One is because Chris retires March 20th. Jacob Johnson went back to Warsaw, and then Toby stepped up into the deputy chief position. So it left 3 positions open in my department that I would like to try to use this hiring process to fill those. If the candidates this time don't meet the need, then we'll reopen that process up at the Board of Works permission.
Any problems with hiring 3? Obviously, we had interviews with 3 candidates. Feel really good about those 3 candidates. So I think you have the green light from us to move forward with that.
Perfect, and just a little information on that. Tomorrow starts the 8-hour ride-along program with them to kind of see if they fit the department. Today, Hamatro Tools was here and going through all of our rescue tools. That for like the Jaws of Life, what you guys know is the Jaws of Life. There's a lot to those tools. There's the rams, cutters, spreaders, counting tools, all that stuff. They have to meet certain specs, and they were here today and they found a few things that needed to be corrected, but for the most part, we're in good shape. And I think that's it.
Questions of Tom? Thank you. Chip?
I lost all my mojo not going first, so I want to thank the electric and the street department. We have started cutting trees for the tree board, at-risk trees, and so that is going. I think we've got 2 done so far. If you guys really want to be part of what my day-to-day activities are, we have a trail pre-construction meeting for the Blue River Trail the 13th at 11 o'clock. It will be incredible, off the hook. We are setting up, getting our dates set for the comp plan, for revising our comp plan for the city, and that'll be happening soon. So get excited for that. And hopefully, as we said, the test kitchen, shared kitchen will be coming along very soon. As the mayor said, Bill gave us his 3-week notice, so we will be discussing that in the near future.
Questions of Chip?
Oh, one more thing, we are meeting tomorrow. I don't know if anybody's drove by the skate park. Skate park is moving along. However, the weather is going to impede that, but they are making good progress. So we are meeting tomorrow to discuss some changes that they want to make it more for Mike Shota, so he can get down there on his little trike and ride around. A little more accessible, so.
Questions of Chip? Thank you. Rosie?
Nothing.
A couple things for your information. Dan was there as a member of the council, but last night we had I think interesting, I did keep it close to an hour. It was an hour and 13 minutes or something like that. Conversation between the fiscal bodies of the 4 townships and the city that have been having conversations regarding the fire territory. And really last night's meeting was just to kind of gauge the temperature of the different fiscal bodies, because ultimately they're the ones that would have to pass the resolution and therefore potentially pass any kind of tax increase that would go with the fire territory. The temperature, I think, was cool. Is that fair, Dan? It was cool. I will say that there was kind of a general agreement that, so let me back up. So there was a fiscal model that was done based on a $12 million figure to run the fire territory for Jefferson, Washington, Cleveland, Columbia, and Columbia City. And that was a $12 million yearly budget. And what the tax implications would be for that. That put, 3 or 4 firefighters each, I think it was 3 firefighters for 24 hours per station. There was 3 or 4 stations.
Depending on what model you went with.
Yeah, I think it was the very first model. I think it was 4 stations at that time. But anyways, over the last, we'll say 5 to 6 months, that's been pared down to an $8 million figure with 3 stations with I think a minimum of 2 at the other 2 or maybe a minimum of 3 at the other 2 stations and 4 here or 2 there and 3 here. I don't remember which one. But point of the matter is, because of that whittling down, the financial model is kind of out of date. So the decision was made to update that financial model with Baker Tilly, and then each of the fiscal bodies then have a conversation about whether they want to continue the process or not. At the end of the day, for the city standpoint, if Columbia Township is not in the conversation, if they choose to effectively opt out, we can't even be a part of it because we have to be contiguous. And so Columbia kind of takes us out of that. So with that being said, I think we are kind of in a pause, frankly, until Columbia kind of decides what they want. I think Dan will agree. I think it was fairly apparent that Columbia is going to say no. Their advisory board, at least they have, I think, at least 2 members that spoke that they were pretty leaning, maybe heavily no. So I don't know what that looks like. For the city, there's pros and cons to it. And again, but that really is down the road. We're really not even at a place where we can, start saying, yes, we're going to be a part, yes, we're going to do this, or no, we're not going to do this. There's still all kinds of things. So that was last night. And like I said, I tried to keep it as close to an hour as possible. It ended up being an hour and 13 minutes, but which I think was pretty impressive with the amount of people that were here last night. But nevertheless, I will tell you, our next Board of Works meeting, I will not be here because I will be in Washington, D.C. We will be advocating on behalf of our electric utility. Sean will also be there as we do. This is kind of our yearly Washington, D.C. trip. And that, again, it is focused on how can we continue to keep the cost of power, at where it's at or lower, fight back against things like the Green New Deal and some of those things that would completely blow our rates off, out of the roof, if you will. So that's happening. I am going to be down at the State House on Thursday I'm hoping to be down at the State House on Thursday. We'll see with the weather, but that's my goal. And I'm happy to say that there were some changes that happened today to the property tax legislation, as I've kind of started to talk about more publicly, is that, the impact of Senate Bill 1 to the city of Columbia City would have been a $600,000 cut in services. That makes up, I think, somewhere around 12% of our total general fund. General fund funds police and fire and other general government type services, right? And so, for us, city and town position has been that we support targeted relief. We don't want any seniors being taxed out of their property or out of their house, right? those that are on a fixed income, things like that. So targeted relief we're in favor of. But Senate Bill 1 in its initial state was taking an axe to a hangnail. So we're trying to be a little more, hopefully more toward the scalpel than the axe, right? So we'll see. There was some significant changes to the bill today. I have not seen the impact change yet. I've not seen that information yet, but nevertheless, we're still going to be going down to the State House having conversations. It's not just that. There are multiple other bills: business personal property tax floor elimination, which the depreciation floor, again, I won't get into it, but depreciation floor being eliminated impacts manufacturing communities much harder than it does ours, if you will, but still has an impact. There's some other legislation that actually I talked about at retreat, which is the transportation bill passed the passed committee that mandates if you want to be eligible for community crossings, you have to have a municipal wheel tax in place. Again, we're monitoring that to see how that goes through the legislature one way or another. Obviously, we don't want to be mandated to pass a new tax on our residents. But on the other side of that is they're offering $1.5 million for roads and streets and upgrades that we just approved a $1.6 million funding or road paving package, right? So that's happening. I know that's a lot. I'm trying not to belabor it too much, but that is an impactful thing. Monday, City Hall is closed for President's Day, so that's happening. And Friday the 21st, happy birthday, right? So I think, and then we have youth council on Thursday, but I think that's it. So Dan, okay, Lisa, okay, audience, we have no press, so we'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.